Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday night. What is going to be a Tip Tuesday. I am excited about this stream. A lot of you guys have been asking for more information regarding this topic of discussion tonight. So I'm glad to be able to bring this to you guys. So if you don't know, my name is Georgiana Haynes, and I am live streaming with you here weekday nights at 8 p.m. Sometimes it's product, tonight it is training. So let's get the ball rolling. If you're watching, give me a shout out or a hello, a how you doing, a high fives, a thumbs up. If this is your first time watching, go ahead and in the comments box, let me know. If you're catching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. We still keep the conversation going even after the live stream is gone. It's just that if you're here live, we get to converse in person. It feels a little more, real and live. So first up, we got Milagros. Hey, Millie, thank you for joining. You're ready. You got your pen and your paper handy. You're ready to learn. We're going to do some social media training tonight. That's like the hot button topic. Everybody wants to know, how do you schedule posts? How do you stay on top of social media and still keep a life? How do you balance a business, a full-time job, a side hustle, and still keep your social media running? And I think this year a lot of people have asked, even before recent events, how do you stay on top? How are you always on top of your social media? How do you keep posting? I see you're consistent with your posts. How do you keep posts going out regularly? How do you maintain the balance between posting and your life? And it is interesting sometimes. Sometimes we're having a family meal, and when the food looks nice, I'm like, wait, I've got to run for my camera, or wait, let me get my cell phone, I need to take a picture. But that's just the reality of where we are. I think this generation, we're Instagrammers and Facebookers and TikTokers, we're always posting to social media. So it's kind of just become a part of life. But the problem that a lot of people run into is getting those posts out regularly. For me, I love to schedule. I'm a big believer in scheduling posts. I think that it just makes life 10 times easier, especially if you're already balancing a full schedule. And I'll give you guys a little backstory in a minute, but I'm looking for those comments in the chat box. If you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. Let me see you. Join us in the little chat so I can shout you out in person. Millie asks, oh, I'm good. Thank you for asking, Milagros. I'm good. I'm hanging in there. I'm holding on. Today and yesterday were kind of rough days. There's a lot happening and a lot that's not happening, and oddly enough, both of them are equally as frustrating. So I'm trying to balance that, but I appreciate you asking. That's so sweet of you. So yeah, who else do we have watching? Let me see some names. Let me see a shout out, a hello. I'm getting things set up. So today, as I mentioned, it's not going to be so much a discussion about product. I'm actually going to be showing you hands-on, step-by-step, what programs I use when I am creating my my social media posts, and I'm going to be walking you through. So if you have questions, pull them out, get them going in the comments box, and I'll be sure to answer those questions. Or if I'm doing something and if I'm moving too fast, please do not be afraid to say something, ask me, I'll slow it down. I do talk at 90 miles an hour, and I'm the same way with my clicking. So I'm, making an attempt to slow it down, but today I'm going to try to make it more of a tutorial. Hey, Marcia watching from Chicago. Shout out to Marcia for joining. Milagro says she can't wait to learn to schedule her posts. Janet, hey, Janet, welcome, welcome. I love, you guys are like hashtag fam, because you guys are so encouraging. You guys are so, I love the camaraderie we have. Even though we're independent business women, I love the support that we have together here. So you guys are awesome. So, all right, why don't we go ahead and get the ball going? Even though I'm working, you guys will still be able to, I'll still be able to see your comments. So you can still chat in the chat box. So again, please don't be afraid if you have questions, if you want me to slow down, if you want me to show something again, or if you have something specific that you want to see, don't be afraid to ask me. That's why we're doing this live, so that you can get to see things firsthand. And oh yes, so backstory. So yeah, I do have many hats that I wear, as many of you guys do. I do have multiple jobs, multiple volunteer opportunities. So for me, I found that it was sometimes hard to remember, just literally to just remember to post on social media. But you realize that um, when it comes to social media and business and trying to build a brand or brand awareness, or just trying to build your following on social media, it's really important for you to do a couple of things. One, I believe, is having content, images and posts that's unique to you, that's creative, that people would want to come and see on your channel, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, whatever. So it's, showing who you are to the world. And then the other thing is consistency. Everyone always says, consistency is key. If you're posting once a year, you're really not going to get that following. You're not going to get that interaction or the growth that you're looking for. And that is sort of where I struggle, because I was constantly forgetting. And even now on my personal social media page, sometimes it's hard to focus. If I'm really engaged in my business, then sometimes my personal page will fall off. Or if I'm really engaged, like lately I've been really engaged with these YouTube live videos. So I've sort of fallen off on my Instagram and my, not so much Facebook, because I could share these videos, but my Instagram, which is mostly just photos, is kind of fallen off. So I find that whenever I get myself like I'm losing my way, I really need to come back to these apps that I used to schedule. So many of you used to use an app called Avon Social, which was a tool that was given to us by our company to allow us to schedule our posts. I'm not gonna lie, I loved Avon Social. I love the company behind it. They were amazing with their feedback, and they were really great with creating content and posts, and I learned a lot from using that program. The issue for me was that I am bigger on Instagram, and I couldn't, with that program, post to Instagram. There was some downloading. I could schedule for Facebook, I think, and Pinterest and Twitter. So Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter, but I could make those 3 posts, but I would need to download, copy my captions, and then share to Instagram. So that added step for me, when you're juggling a lot of stuff, I always say the key is to simplify. I had a professor in college, and he used to say, being lazy isn't a bad thing. It makes you more efficient at what you're doing. Make sure that whatever you're doing, you do it as concisely as possible, because you don't want to do the 10 steps if you could do 2. So I'm lazy in that respect. I hated having to do the same thing twice. I always think it's better to refine your steps in anything that you're doing. It's always better to use fewer steps if you could do it in fewer steps to get the whole thing done. So I started to pull away from Avon Social and look for different apps. I want to say maybe 2019, early to mid 2019. Like I said, I loved Avon Social. I loved the way that they laid out your week ahead of time for you. But I was finding myself actually scheduling a month at a time. So I used that weekly scheduling tool at the beginning of the week, but I found that I was having other posts that I was scheduling out ahead of time for the month. So I was looking at something where I could schedule for the month. I was looking at something where I can schedule all my posts for all my social media channels. My main channels, and it's different for everybody, but my main channels are Facebook and Instagram, and then following up with Twitter and Pinterest. But I also have multiple channels for each of those. So I have a personal Instagram page for my Avon business, and an Instagram page for my Boss Agenda business. Same thing with Facebook. For personal Facebook, Avon Facebook, Boss Agenda Facebook. And then I had Twitter and Pinterest. And, it became a lot to manage. And I really was, just trying to find different things that I could use to pare that down. But I had notes here that I wanted to share. I just want to make sure that I'm covering everything. But I do see more people coming in the chat, so don't be shy. Introduce yourself. But yeah, so consistency and your unique style was very important. So so I made the switch a few years ago. couple months ago. What are we in now, 2020? Yes, a few years ago. So I kind of had the benefit of trying different apps, and I whittled it down to two that I use now. Tonight I'm going to be showing you one of them, and the reason that I wanted to share this one with you guys is that it's very easy to use, and I think you guys will really like it because it is free. It has a free option, which was what got me into using it in the first place. It wasn't one of those free trial, 14-day free trials. It was like, it's a program that you can use for free. Just it's free up to a certain level. And then if you need more, let's say if you need to add more social media channels, or if you need to have more posts, then you can always add in. But I found that this was really basically enough. Something is going on here. It was basically enough for me to do what I needed to do without, on the free program, and then I could upgrade if I needed to, which was where I needed to be. And I did use the free version, and I did use the paid version, but I downgraded back to the free version because I'm actually using a couple of other apps, and I wanted to be able to show you this app exactly how it is if you're getting it, if it's free. I didn't want to have the paid version and then try to go back and have to figure out, no, this is something that you get for the paid version. No, you don't get that. I didn't want to mislead you. So what I'm going to be showing you tonight is actually the free version. So I want to, first and foremost, I'm going to be doing demo today. So you guys are, if you'll be seeing my desktop as I do things and as I click. So I can still see the chat box. You can still put your comments and chats there, and we'll still be able to talk. So yeah, Milagros free is duplicatable. So everybody can use this program. It's open for everyone. And the other reason I like this program is because it's really easy to use. And you guys will see in a second that there are apps out there that can be really complicated. And I know that when it comes to duplicability, when it comes to duplicating, it's always better to have something that's simple. And then once you guys get used to this, then you can always branch off and use something a little more complicated. Or you can upgrade within this program and you can use the paid version, which has, it does a little bit more. But I think that this app will kind of give you the basics. So, Marcia says she needs something that can be done in as few steps as possible. Agreed, 100%. We're already doing way too much, right? So the platform that we use is going to be in the chat box below. I added a link, and I'm going to switch over now and show you how we start. So right now I'm in YouTube. I shouldn't be in YouTube. Okay. So this is the program. It's called Later. There's a link in the description of this video below. I just updated it so that you can find the link. And I'm going to give you the basics today. So one of the great things that I like about Later is that it has a desktop app, and then it also has a PC version. So I feel like it's weird talking to you guys, but not, you can't see me. I hope you guys are okay with that. So with Later, this is the desktop version that I'm looking at now, but there's also an app that you could download on your phone. I recommend, I don't know if this is the only way to do it. I started on my desktop, so I just recommend that you go to, you click on the link in the chat box, in the description box, and then you go to Later, and then you register and you install it on your desktop. It is an app, so you just go to the website, app.later.com, and then you can use it on your desktop. But the great thing about this, like I said, is you can have multiple social media channels. So with the free version, you can have up to 4 channels. They call it basically a social set. So you get one social set, which is basically one of each social media channel: one Instagram, one Facebook, one Twitter, and one Pinterest. If you need more social sets, or if you need, for example, 2 Instagrams and 2 Facebooks, you can always upgrade later. But basically, you'll start off, you'll add in all of your social media channels, and you'll be able to just kind of plug them in as you go. So this is the account settings. This is where you'll go to add your social media, but the calendar is where you're basically going to work. So a couple of things that you have here. First, on the left hand side in this area right here, whoops, okay, this area here, you have all the images that you upload. So we've been doing some courses on Canva, how to use Canva to create, you know, your own unique posts. I like to use Canva for quotes. For example, you can make a quote like this using Canva and upload it here. So all of your images, whether it's an image on your phone or an image that you had on your PC, you can upload here. So what I do is I have a folder on my desktop where I take a whole bunch of images from different activities, I edit them, and then I save them in a folder that says like edited or ready to upload. And then when I'm ready, I upload all of them here into later. So you have all of your images here. It basically becomes like a folder where you keep everything. Then you can also categorize these images. So right now the images, you see this little box here, it says unused. So I'm just going to turn all on, right? So you can select your images and you can add different filters to them. I use 2 filters. I basically want to separate my personal images. I don't even bother to tag them because the majority of the images are personal. But if I have specific images for my agenda, I have a tag for that. And if I have specific images for my business, I tag that. You can also sort by different media types. So you can upload your videos, you can upload GIFs, and you can use those things to sort. So right now I'm looking at all media. One great thing I love about this is that if you've used an image already, you can kind of tell that I've used it. That isn't one of them. If I've used it before, there's a little number here that tells me on how many social media channels I've used it before. So I might want to revisit, in case I want to use the image on Facebook, but I haven't used it on Instagram, I could come back and I could see. But if I'm looking for new posts, all I can do is just show me all the unused media. So I don't have to go through every single photo all the time. I can always just set my page to show me only the images that I haven't used. So you'll upload your images. You can also connect it to your Dropbox or your Google Drive, or you can upload straight from your phone or your desktop. And then you kind of create this database with all your images here. You can also access it from this section here, which is your media library. And you can also, you know, set your favorites. You can choose which ones you want to work on. You can set favorites. You can group them, categorize them. It gives you a lot of tools to help you sort and organize your photos as your photo database kind of grows. But most of your work is going to be done here in the calendar section. So once you've gone through, you've added your social media channels, and then you've started to upload your photos. You don't have to upload a ton. You can upload them as you go, but I just like to upload all of them at the same time. I do want to move this window over a little bit so I can see. Oops. I like to just upload everything at the same time because it makes it easier for me. Like I said, I tend to lay out like at the very least a week to a month. So I'm usually working with quite a few pictures, and it helps me to sort of see all the things that I'm working on so that I can lay them out more easily. So yes, Marcia, you can only use one Instagram account on this app. If you need more, you've got to pay for it. So yeah, one social media channel per app, which is why I ended up upgrading, because I needed, like I said earlier, I needed more. But for most people, the basics, most people will be able to function with this just to get started. If you do have more than one app, then you can either, for example, what I did for a while was I would manage my personal social media because I didn't really need to be super consistent with that. And then I used this program to manage my business social media. But right now I'm back on my managing this one with my business for my personal, and I'm doing my business on another program. So why don't I go ahead and show you how easy it is. So at the top here, like I said, these are all your social media channels. So if you want to post to all of your channels, I haven't used it in a while, which is why it's giving me all these warnings. You just select all the channels that you want to post to. And then there are 2 ways that you can create a post. The first way you can do it is you could just select an image. I'm going to choose this one, and you could drag it over. And that, you know, creates the opportunity for you to create a post. So I might say, I hate to admit it. Oh no, I hate to say it out loud, but it looks like sweater weather is here. So that would be my caption. One thing that I like about this program is you can do something called save captions. What I use save captions for is actually to save my hashtags, because I find I use the same hashtags over and over again. So I just created different categories for my hashtags: makeup, skincare, fashion, fragrance, jewelry, quotes, crafting, agenda. So this would probably be a fashion post. So I would just select that. You just click it and it automatically adds it to your posts with the ellipsis and everything. But I like to change my hashtags every time. So I might put like fall fashion, let's see, sweater weather, because you don't want to use the same posts over and over on social media. Social media channels actually don't like that. They like when you mix it up. Milagro says she needs the paid version because she has several Facebook pages. Okay, I can show you the prices. Actually, with the link that I gave you, you'll actually get additional posts with your free subscription. So I forgot to mention that earlier. I'll show you in the top right in a second. But basically, you can get up to 30 posts with the free program. And then if you want more than that, you have to go to the paid program. But with the link that I gave you in the chat box, you actually get an additional 10 posts for free. So if you do want to upgrade, you can always just click the link, upgrade, and you'll still get a little bit of freebie in there as well. So yes, the hashtag save comes in handy, and you can have different ones. For a while I had a lot of different hashtags for, even like I would have fashion 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why I turned those off, but oh, because I'm not really doing business stuff on this version anymore. So I used to have a hashtag for my personal posts and a hashtag for like my business posts, even though they were both fashion. Yes, Marcia's already on it. She's like, I'm in here, let's just do this thing. Yes, Marcia already said that she just saw she gets her 10 free posts. Awesome. So it's working. So yeah, once you've created your post, I'm just going to show you the final steps. You can schedule them here, even though you can drag it and drop it on the calendar. Where I put it on the calendar was, it came up as 8:20 p.m. If you start to edit your post and you realize you want to change the date or the time, you can definitely still do that in here. This is a post that I scheduled for today, so there isn't much left to today. So I'm just going to move this forward to 10 p.m. Yes, Marcia. So when you see all of these social media channels up here in color, that means that all of these channels are going to get this post. So when I hit next, you're going to see the other thing I love about this. It breaks down all of your social media channels so that you can edit each one individually. So if I want my for example, this Facebook page, if I want to have a slightly different post, I can edit it here. I can edit my Instagram a little differently. It also has tools built in that come in handy. For example, for Twitter, we all know that Twitter limits you to 280 characters, but I've gone over my limit. So what it does is it gives you this warning so that you can now go in and edit your Twitter post so that you can make sure that you stay within the confines. I tend to have shorter Twitter posts, again, because of the limit, and I tend to have longer Facebook and Instagram posts. So you guys might find this familiar if you're using the Avon social tool. It's the same breakdown where you can edit each one. I feel like it's a little bit easier because I can see all of these at the same time. Sometimes you might even type and find that you had a grammatical error. It's really easy and nice to just be able to go back and edit all of them. So last but not least, we have Pinterest. Pinterest, of course, needs a board, so I'm gonna choose my style and inspo board. And your website, you can, Pinterest always needs a website. You can add a title if you want to, but it basically catches all the possible issues, not all, but some of the possible issues you might have when you're doing multiple posts, so that you can create that specific style for each social media channel. And then when you're done, you just go ahead and hit create. So you see it's going to create all 4 posts for you here. Yes, Marcia, you can create everything in one shot. The big difference between this and Avon Social is that with this one, you can also do, you can do an entire, you know, all 4. You can get your Instagram in there too. I believe in Avon Social, you couldn't do Instagram. So you always have to download, copy, blah, blah, blah. So the next thing that you'll see here is it shows you in different colors all of your posts. So up here, I'm actually going to turn off this Boss Agenda Facebook page for a second. Do you see how all of these colors match the post? So this Instagram Boss Lady G is in pink, so that's this post here. Let's say, for example, I don't want my Instagram post to go out at the same time as my Pinterest and Twitter post. I can always just slide that around. So we can move that. You know, you could, let's say you don't want all your posts to go out on the same day, which is something that I do often. Maybe you want the same posts to go out across your different channels on different days. I like to do that with my blog posts. I don't necessarily want everything to come out at the same time. Maybe I want one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one at lunchtime, one during dinner time, blah, blah, blah. So you can kind of play with all of your posts and you can stretch them out here. And you can also turn off the different channels if you don't want to see them. So if I only want to see on my calendar my Instagram posts, I can gray all the other social media channels out and I could see that one post, or I could see, you know, only my posts for my Instagram. You'll also notice that when I turned off all the other channels and it's just Instagram, there are additional features for Instagram in this program. You guys see these little grayed out time periods here. This app can actually, as you continue to post, it's going to try to pull your best time to post so that it can make suggestions for you, so that you can know according to the people in your social media who are following you and according to your interaction. It kind of gives you an idea of best times to post, but you can also set these. So these are ones that I set myself. I don't know why I have a 7 a.m. on Friday, but I was getting a lot of feedback or a lot of interaction at 7 a.m. on Friday. I think this is from when we actually used to get up and leave to go to work. People on the train would, you know, sit and look at my posts. So I had a lot of interactions at 7 a.m. Friday. For the rest of the time, I like to post, you know, mid-afternoon, evening. So I set these times to kind of lock in there, so that I'm going to show you something else, but those times sort of sit there. So when you schedule automatic posts, the program will actually take the posts that you set as automatic and just automatically put them in those time slots. And it kind of helps you make things a little faster. But this was one thing that wasn't on a lot of different programs. So I like that that this app does have that, because sometimes when you start to schedule, you know, 2 to 3 posts a day across 4 different channels, it could get really crazy. So it's really nice to be able to turn off, you know, different things when you don't want to see them. So oh, and as you kind of zoom out, it also kind of gives you an idea of how many posts you have on each day. So if you're, for example, trying to fill out your month, you can see, okay, well, today I have like 2 posts. This day I have 5 posts. So maybe I want to move something from this day with 5 posts to another day to kind of even it out. So it kind of gives you this count so that you can see that more easily. And I did say Boss Agenda. I do want to, okay, so the other thing is, let's say you created a post across all 4 of your channels and you decide that you want to delete one. You definitely can. I'm just going to toss this one and it'll keep all your other posts intact. So even though it schedules them together, you can edit them individually. And even after you've finished editing them, you know, like on that page where I had all 4, you can come back in and edit, move around, change times, etc. So the other way that I want to show you, so that was the first way. You can drag and drop from this side and you can put it on the right. What I like to do is I like to go to my media library where I have all of my posts, and I like to just filter it to unused media. And then I will sometimes click on a post. Which one can I use? We'll use this one. So you click on a photo. Oh my gosh, hilarious. So you click on a photo, you click edit, and you put whatever your post is going to be. Same thing, you could use your same captions. You can add in your captions here. One good thing that I like with the paid plan is they have something called hashtag suggestions. So if you need help thinking of different hashtags to use, you can click on a hashtag and you can click hashtag suggestions, and it'll give you a list of other related hashtags to kind of help you, come up with ideas. So that's one good thing from the paid plan, but not necessarily. You can also just go into your social media channel, search for a hashtag, and find similar ones. Marcia, when is the best time to post? To be honest with you, it varies. I would say you have to look at your social media channels and your interactions, because it's going to vary according to who your followers are, their time zones for the majority of your followers. It's really unique to each person. Across the board, you can always just Google. They have like generic times to post, but I feel like that's always a good starting point. But you always just want to look at your interaction so that you can kind of glean from your own people when the best time to post is. For example, my following tends to be working professionals, so early morning, lunchtime, right before the end of the workday, and right after work, and then not even so much on the weekends, because I think the age group of most of my people tends to be more active during the weekday than the weekends. So it varies. And even for myself, I will tell you, over the years that I've been doing this, I've seen a change in when I run my analytics and I look at the best time to post and when I'm getting the best interaction. Even that changes, across the year. So with COVID, that it's completely been turned upside down, because like I said, people don't have that commute like they used to. So I used to see a lot of interaction in the morning and after work when people were commuting and using their phone to occupy their time. That's sort of gone away. So you kind of have to test for yourself, Marcia, and see what works for you. So with this post, I started it in my media library. So I'm just gonna, what I like to do when I first create a post is usually I have something in mind when I upload that image. So I would just add my notes here and I would update. So it gets saved. So now when I close this out and leave it alone, it still stays in my media as something that hasn't been edited yet. But now when I'm ready to schedule it, that post already comes in. So if you're batch uploading photos, or if you're uploading photos to be used at a later time, it's nice to be able to add a note to a photo, and then when you're ready to create your posts, that note will automatically be there already. So that's another feature that I like to use. And then you can always just drag it straight in, just like you did before, and you can schedule that post for different times. You can also, from your media library, you can also see, let's say, for example, let me go to one that I've already posted. Let's say you've used the photo, but you don't know where or when you used it. This was another thing that I found with other programs, was that I would have to go searching for that photo. Sometimes you just don't know if you used the photo or not. With this, you can click on the photo and you can see when you uploaded it and when you post it. So you can click on that post, and then you can see the date that you posted it and what you actually wrote, what hashtags you used if you want to go back and get those hashtags. So I like that about it, because sometimes I find it easier to, sometimes you're looking for a specific image to use and you're like, oh crap, I used it already. Instead of having to use it again, you can always just come into your media library, find that image, and use it to find it in the calendar so you can see what you posted on it. Yes, this app does help you, but you can also schedule it according to your own. It kind of gives you a rough estimate, but you still remember you're posting across 4 channels, and it's only going to estimate the Instagram for you. So you still kind of have to figure it out for Twitter and Facebook. And I will tell you, it does vary across social media channels. My Facebook people are on at completely different times than my Instagram people. And my Pinterest people, they tend to be up, late night Pinterest browsing. So my Pinterest people tend to be up at night. So it's all different. So I would just say play with it, see what your actions are like. They do have this analytics section here on the left. It has to be used with the business profile, but it will only break down your business profile and your Instagram. So if you pay for it, you also get more, more detailed analytics as well. One thing I forgot to mention was your Instagram page does need to be business. If you want these posts to go to your phone. So this app can post to your Instagram in two ways. If you have a business account, it'll basically take your post that you've created here on the computer, send it to your phone, and then from there if your Instagram is business, it'll take it and send it directly to Instagram. Let me correct myself. If your Instagram is not a business page, like for me, my page is a personal page. If your page is not business, then it'll take your image, kind of give you a notification on your phone, and then you can open that notification. It automatically copies the text, and then you can upload it to your Instagram yourself. So you have two options. If you don't want to convert your Instagram page to a business page, you can do it manually. But if your Instagram page is a business page, then the posts will automatically go. I converted my personal page to a business page as well, just because I wanted that automatic feature. I wanted to, schedule it and go about my business. So, okay. So the next cool thing about this app, and I think the reason why I use this app the most, is because it also lets you schedule your posts to stories on the paid program. So if you use Instagram stories, you can use this app to schedule your stories. I used to love that, and that's why I stuck with this program. The other reason why I started using this program in the first place was, if you're looking at your Instagram channel, you can get a preview of what your Instagram is going to look like when all of your posts get posted. So this is like a preview of my Instagram. And you guys know, you guys might say, oh, Georgie, I feel like your Instagram is color coded, because sometimes it is. What I'll do is I'll use this to organize my photos. So right now, according to my calendar, I have this sweater post going out tonight at 9, this outfit post going out tomorrow at 2, and then my planner post going out at 1 o'clock. With preview, I could say, I don't really like having myself, two pictures of me together. Maybe I want to break that up. So I could drag this over to kind of break that up a little bit. And you could see that these two images are in blue because I've now changed them. So on this right hand side, you'll see that it will reschedule those posts according to the order that you put them in. But only your Instagram posts get affected that way. So now, like looking at this post, for example, I try to kind of space it out and mix it up, so I get, a little bit of me, maybe a face shot, a body shot, a quote, some food. Usually I try not to have food together. Usually I would break it up. So with this, you could break up all your posts. So you guys remember this funny post of me just, I think it was hey. You can also drag, once you have your notes in your image, you can drag it straight into your Instagram. And it'll come in, it'll be, you see over here where it says to be quick scheduled. Quick scheduled is when it adds it to those times that were on your calendar before. Yeah, having a business Instagram, I would say just go for the business Instagram. It just makes it so much easier to work. Again, you're trying to minimize the steps that you're doing. So, so when you have your notes in your images, you could then use your Instagram preview, and you could just drag your images straight from your media to your Instagram. But for example, now I don't like that. Again, I have this problem where it's just so much of me in this little corner. Maybe I want to throw in something else. Let's throw in a quote. So I'll put a quote there, but I don't like having the quote and the planner. So maybe I'll move the quote back here. Nope, two of me together again. All right, maybe I'll put the quote over there. All right, so that kind of has a better flow. So I'm liking the way this looks. You see all of these things are sort of rearranging their time. Let's see. So this sweater is still scheduled for 9 p.m. tonight. The planner, which was originally scheduled for 2 days from now, is now scheduled for still for 2 days, but everything else has kind of moved around it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and click save. You can see the ones that you've changed here. And I do like that this program gives you a preview of the things you've already posted, because it allows you to line things up better. Matter of fact, I'm actually seeing something right now. I don't like that both of those, that my face was like, it was me here and me here. So let me just switch these around. Okay, so it kind of allows you to get a nicer view of your Instagram, the way it's going to look after it's posted, as opposed to just, it gives you more control. So you're not just posting. I like having that control. Most people don't care, but I'm a little nitpicky. So I like being able to organize my posts according to the way they'll look on my feed. So I'm just going to go ahead and click save, and you'll see the times that it's scheduled for these posts. Now, I don't like, for example, that I have 2 posts going out on this day. I can come back in here and I can either, move things around, or I can go back to my week in my calendar and I can look at those posts and say, okay, here's the culprit. I don't want this guy on this same day, but I want them to stay in the same order. So I can just slide them over. But I wanted to show you before I move them, because I'm going to move them, those slots that I told you about for quick schedule that were in gray. You see how those posts were automatically slotted into those quick schedule post slots? So that's how those gray spots work. So when you're working in your preview and previewing your Instagram, it will automatically put things into those slots. But I actually don't want that here. I don't want 2 posts in one day, so I'm just going to move it around. You don't have to go according to the slots. It just uses the slots when you drag and drop onto your preview. So now I got my posts for the week, but the other thing is, these are just my Instagram posts, and you can see here on the left hand side on this photo here, I've only used that photo 1 time. If I want to use that photo on my Pinterest and my Twitter, because I've already put the note in that image, I can then see where I've used it. Oh, okay, nope, we have another problem. So I had scheduled this post here for the other social media channels, but I moved it around in my Instagram. I personally don't mind if they're not being posted at the same time, but let's say you want all of your posts to go out at the same time. You do have to come back in and realign your other social media channels with your posts. Sometimes I do it just for ease of, control. It just makes it easier to remember where things are. This guy also got moved to this day, so I'm just going to move these things around so that they match. It just makes it easier to see. These guys got moved here. We're going to put them there. So like I said, so this post, for example, I only posted it once on Instagram. So I can see the time is 1 o'clock on Thursday. I'm going to turn off my Instagram channel and I'm going to drag and drop this here. And just like I did before, I'm now going to post this post to my other social media channels, just not my Instagram channel. For Twitter, this is way too many hashtags. We're going to delete those. For Pinterest, I need a board. Let's find a makeup board. A beauty. Nope, that's in the wrong section. Let's see, makeup. Beauty and makeup inspo website. Boom. Create posts. And now my posts are there. So as I mentioned, it does limit your posts. So you have about 30 Pinterest and Instagram posts. You have a couple more for Twitter. You are encouraged to post. You can post more often on Twitter because the Twitter feed just goes so rapidly. It's not like you're looking at an image of your feed like you are on Instagram. So you could post a little bit more on Instagram, in general. But you do have a limit on your other posts. I'm just going to move these over because we're almost at 9 o'clock and I don't want those to go out right now. So that's it. So that's basically later. You guys see how easy it is once you upload your photos. My method for working is usually to just come into my media library, click upload media, drag and drop from my social media. I have a folder on my computer where I keep all of my images. So you just click upload, it opens on your desktop. You can import all of your images. I personally like to just go through and write my captions all here so that when I am working, Sometimes I'll schedule in my calendar, but sometimes I'm working more according to my Instagram. So in the same way that I did with my preview, I might just drag and drop this way. But my main reason for using this app was because it gave me control, like the best control that I've seen to date over my Instagram stories. Sorry, over my Instagram profile layout. And I like being able to not only see what my channel was going to look like ahead of time, but you see me changing things still, but be able to edit according to what I already have there, because I hate, for example, here where I have all me in one row, I like to kind of space it out a little bit. So being able to see that is a huge help. Couple things to keep in mind though. Your Instagram feed is a layout of 3. So when you're posting, if you want to get a proper idea of what your social media is going to look like when it's done, try to post in 3s, and then you'll get a preview of what how everything will look when it's all laid out. So for example, this is a full layout. You see how everything is even, 3 3 3. Here, when it's all said and done, I'm stuck again, even though I moved things around before, with a little clump right here of me's. I might want to move this guy up there just to kind of space it out a little, change it up. Or I might say, you know what, I don't want to use this image. Let's use something completely different. There. Add a little more variety. So I can do that, you know, now that I can look and see things. So far, any questions on later? I did mention you can upload videos, which is great. You can do videos or GIFs if you want to have a little moving image. There are a lot of apps out there as well that don't necessarily support those types of images. I love that this one does. They also have great training that you can take if you're learning about social media. You can do their social media training and learn more. But there's no limit to how many photos, or at least I haven't run into a limit yet, for how many photos you can upload. And you can batch upload, which is also really great, because I tend to, for example, these 3 images were blog images from the same blog post, but sometimes I don't want them all to go out at the same time. So I can upload all the images from my blog post, do one this month, one in 3 months, and, you know, one in 4 months. And your calendar does go on and on and on. So you can schedule posts for months ahead of time. As I mentioned, you can go back to old posts and see things that you posted before, but it really does give you great control over your social media. But yeah, so that's it for our later preview. And I think, you know, for free, it is a really robust program. What they give you is well worth it. And the paid versions, as I said, I have used the paid versions. I do like the paid versions, and sometimes I really want to go back to it because I really just love that ability to control my Instagram stories. It is so good. But Later is a really great app, and it's free, and many of you are already familiar with the idea of scheduling your posts, of having images. Some of you will have images. If you haven't already, go get them that you've downloaded. But you know, I like to take photos when I get new product. I'll take a couple of different photos and I'll edit a bunch of them at the same time. You know, while I'm on the bus or train or watching TV, I tend to edit my photos. So it's easy to be able to just batch upload them, write little messages while I'm uploading, and then just save them there so that I can just put them out when I see fit. And you can schedule a week or a month, or you can schedule, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put one post in each day, and then as the day goes by or the week gets closer, I'll add more. So it does give you that flexibility. But I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you guys like Later. I think it's a really great tool, and I think they did a good job with it. I love that it corresponds with your phone, so you can, let me pull it up for you, open the app through your phone. And in the same way that you can schedule, you can see things that you've already scheduled, things that have already gone out. You can schedule new things. You can see all the media. So like I said, I edit my images on my phone. So you can edit, you can upload your images straight from your phone instead of downloading back to your computer. You could upload them straight into later. And you can also still sort your images according to your unused media. Apply filter, and then it gets filtered the same way. So it's, you don't have the exact same tools on your phone as you do on your desktop, but which is why I recommend that you guys use it on the desktop, and then just use your phone as a way to update to social media. So yeah, so that's it. That's later. And that's it for me. So if you found this video helpful, as usual, please hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe so I can do more videos like this. And if you like this video, if you have questions, or if there's something else that you want to see, don't be afraid to send me an email. You can reach me at georgiana+live@bossladies.com. And of course, again, if you're watching the replay of this video, give me a hashtag replay so that I know you're watching. Feel free to continue to post questions if you have them. And if you know of anybody who you think could benefit from this video, of course, it's going to be up on YouTube, so you can share it. But if you want to share it with your teammates, your business partners, your friends, you can, of course, do that. So thank you guys all for watching and joining me today. I really do hope that you found this program easy to use and that you do try it out. I recommend you at least try it. Like with any program, you're not going to get it right away. There is always a learning curve. I would say give yourself a month to just kind of play with it and figure it out, practice with it. It did take me some time to get comfortable using it because there were some things that I was just like, you know, why can't I post to all four? Why do I have to turn it off? You know, what's going on here? I think I covered the things that kind of threw me for a loop here so that you guys don't have to go through that. But I recommend just giving it a shot and playing with it. This is, I think, a great alternate to the program that many of you were using that's no longer available. And you can always also, one thing I forgot to mention is you can change out your social media. So if you start using it for one social media, let's say you have a personal Instagram and you decide later on that you want to switch over to a different Instagram account, you can change your account. You're not locked in here. You can always turn it off and turn it back on as well. So there's nothing really for you to be afraid of. I always tell you guys, you can't break it. Go ahead, play with it. You can't break it. So Janet, yes, I'm glad you're gonna try it. Let me know how you guys do if you like it. Go ahead and share with me later on. I want to know, or if you get stuck later on, I want to know. But they're customer support. You can also reach out to them too, and they also will help with tips and feedback. I think I had a problem when I first started using it, and I called, and they were able, like, you know, I got a person, I was able to get my problem resolved. They were, you know, the customer service was pretty good. So that's another reason why I would recommend them, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't. So yeah, so thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys have a great night and that you join me here tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking again here at 8 p.m. Same time, same place. But tomorrow night we are going into Wednesday, so we're going to be talking about, I went all the way back. Oh, jewelry. Yes, I've got a jewelry preview for you guys. So come in tomorrow at 8. I've got some, we're back to products, so I've got some brand new products to share with you guys. But I hope you guys know. Janet said she will be reaching out. That's what I'm here for. That's okay. We got you. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing night, an amazing evening. I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. here on my channel. Subscribe if you haven't, and you'll be able to get the alert so that you don't miss out. But if you did miss it, if you're not able to join us at 8, then the replay will be on my channel. Feel free to watch and comment. All right, guys, have a great evening.